Hola, mi nombre es Ariel Horowitz, director del Moriah International Center, y estamos aquí en la Semana de los Rollos del Mar Muerto con un nuevo episodio. El episodio anterior estuvimos en Qumran con el doctor Adolfo Reutemann, que nos mostró en una especie de tour virtual las maravillas de ese sitio arqueológico. Si usted todavía no vio el primer episodio, está en esta misma página, ustedes pueden acceder y ver realmente esa maravilla que es Qumran, y nada menos que guiado por uno de los especialistas mundiales en la materia, que es el doctor Adolfo Reutemann, curador de los Rollos del Mar Muerto. Pero ahora estamos en un nuevo episodio, el episodio 2, y estamos aquí justamente en la Universidad Hebrea de Jerusalén. ¿Y qué tiene de importante esta universidad? Además de toda la historia académica maravillosa, que eso lo vamos a ver en un próximo episodio, tiene que la universidad está vinculada directamente con los Rollos del Mar Muerto. Y me encuentro aquí, atrás de mí, está, podemos decir, este edificio emblemático. Este es el Instituto de Arqueología de la Universidad Hebrea de Jerusalén. ¿Y por qué digo que este instituto o este edificio es tan emblemático? Además que es un edificio que fue creado en el año 1941, es decir, antes de la creación del Estado de Israel. Este edificio fue creado con el objeto de ser un museo instituto, es decir, por un lado que sea un lugar donde se exhiban diferentes hallazgos arqueológicos, pero por el otro también que se estudie aquí arqueología. Por razones políticas, hasta el año 67 no se pudo estudiar acá, no se pudo utilizar, es decir, desde el 48 hasta el 67, pero luego el 67 se retorna a este Instituto de Arqueología, donde se sigue enseñando y estudiando arqueología hasta el día de hoy. ¿Y qué tiene de emblemático este edificio? Que es el edificio del Instituto de Arqueología de la Universidad Hebrea, con grandes arqueólogos que salieron de estas paredes, entre ellos Sukenik, que fue el creador en realidad del Instituto de Arqueología, y su hijo Yigael Yadin, que en un ratito estaremos hablando también de ellos. Pero quiero que me acompañen ahora porque estaremos entrando a este edificio, al Instituto de Arqueología, donde tendremos una entrevista con el doctor Oren Gutfeld. El doctor Oren Gutfeld es un arqueólogo bien de la casa de la Universidad Hebrea, estudió toda su carrera aquí hasta el doctorado. Y lo interesante del doctor Oren Gutfeld, que él es un arqueólogo que recientemente, hace 3 años nada más, encontró lo que se llamó la caverna número 12 de Qumran. Así que acompáñenme y estaremos justamente entrando en este edificio, y en un ratito lo van a conocer al doctor Oren Gutfeld. Como pueden ver, realmente da para ver que estamos entrando al Instituto de Arqueología, porque ya mismo en la entrada tenemos algunos objetos originales que están exhibidos. Pero ahora, cuando entremos, vamos a poder ver más objetos en esta especie de museo, universidad o instituto. Así que acompáñenme por aquí, por favor. Acompáñenme, estamos entrando al Instituto de Arqueología de la Universidad Hebrea de Jerusalén. Por aquí. Es realmente una especie de mini museo con algunas réplicas. Por supuesto, el que conoce un poco de arqueología bíblica, aquella inscripción o aquella estela que vemos ahí es una réplica, el original está en Londres. Pero vamos a ver algunas cosas que sí están exhibidas aquí, además de la historia de la Universidad Hebrea, con los Rollos del Mar Muerto. Hay diferentes objetos que podemos ver aquí. Y ustedes, cuando visiten la Universidad Hebrea, van a poder también visitar este lugar fantástico. Vemos aquí algunos mosaicos originales. Y vayamos ahora entrando entonces para encontrarnos con el doctor Oren Gutfeld. En esta sala que vamos a entrar se llama la Sala de las Colecciones, porque está lleno de objetos arqueológicos. Los estudiantes de arqueología, que son muchos aquí, estudian generalmente materias introductorias justamente en esta sala, por aquí. We are here at the Institute of Archaeology in the Hebrew University of Jerusalem, and together with a good friend of mine, Dr. Oren Gutfeld, that is researcher and archaeologist here in this institute.
Hi, Ariel.
How are you, Oren?
Thank you very much. It's good to see you again.
It's great to see you again. And we are going to speak about this building, the story of this Hebrew University, and the story and the connection to the Dead Sea Scrolls. But before we speak about this, tell us a few words about yourself. Who are you? What did you study? And your professional career.
So I'm Dr. Owen Gutfeld. I'm a researcher and archaeologist here at the Institute of Archaeology of the Hebrew University. I conducted all my studies here, my BA, MA, and PhD here at the Institute of Archaeology, and I'm conducting many excavations on behalf of the Hebrew University here in Israel, mainly in the Judean desert.
Okay, and where we are here in this place?
Yes.
What is this place?
Well, we're in the exhibition room of the Institute of Archaeology. As you can see all around, there's lots of pottery vessels from all period of time, and this is where we are teaching our students to read the pottery, to know what kind of vessel we found and from which period.
Okay, and we know that the Hebrew University of Jerusalem has a beautiful story related to the Dead Sea Scrolls. Can you tell us what is the connection?
Well, the story of the Dead Sea Scrolls go back with the Hebrew University from the beginning. The Dead Sea Scrolls were found in the area of Qumran, along the north side of the Dead Sea in 1947. Immediately after they were uncovered, Professor Elazar Lifa Sukenik, then the head of the Hebrew University, contacted his good friend and Armenian merchants from Bethlehem regarding these scrolls. Well, they met on the border of Jerusalem from the two sides of the border and planned to go to Bethlehem to see and purchase the first scrolls that arrived from the Bedouins to Bethlehem. On November 28, in 1947, they went by bus to Bethlehem, and Elazar Lifa Sukenik bought the first 4 Dead Sea Scrolls out of 7 that were found. It's an amazing date because it's just day before the declaration of the United Nations about the independence of the state of Israel.
But the story doesn't end there, because his son, really, Yigael Yadin, continues this heritage.
That's correct. Because of the declaration of the independence of the State of Israel, Elazar Lifa Sukenik could not continue with purchasing the other Dead Sea Scrolls, and they were smuggled outside of Israel, first to Beirut and later to New York City. In 1954, Elazar Lifa Sukenik's son, General Yigael Yadin, was in New York and suddenly saw on the New York Journal, the Wall Street, a small post that asked for people to purchase 4 Dead Sea Scrolls. Immediately he contacted the president of the Hebrew University, Professor Mazar, and he approved to him to buy, under a lot of money, the next Dead Sea Scrolls.
How much did it cost?
Well, it cost about $1 million. No one had such an amount in the early days of the state of Israel. So part of the money came from the Hebrew University and part of the money came from the government.
But $1 million in those times,
that's correct,
was not the $1 million of today.
Of course.
It was much more.
Today it's unvaluable.
And who published this post on the Wall Street Journal?
Well, the person who published the post in the Wall Street Journal was a monk, an Armenian monk under the name of Anastasius. And he smuggled, actually, the Dead Sea Scrolls into the States during the time of the Independence War. And he did it for his own benefits.
How much did he pay?
Well, he paid much less, of course, because the person who he bought the scrolls from here, Kandu, Iskandar Shahin, the merchants in Bethlehem, didn't know the early days the value of the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Some rumors say that he paid $100. Is that right?
We don't know exactly, but those are the rumors.
The rumors, and he sell after $1 million.
Yes, and he became a very, very rich person.
It's a good business.
Very good.
So, and what is the connection today between the Hebrew University and these scrolls? So what is the status of these 7 scrolls?
First of all, I mentioned the name of Yigael Yadin, General Yigael Yadin. He was an archaeologist and the head of the Institute of Archaeology of the Hebrew University. One of the Dead Sea Scrolls that was found and his father bought was the Temple Scroll that you can see over here from a book that Yigael Yadin published, the Temple Scroll. It's a great 3-book series regarding the Temple Scrolls. It's the longest and the best preserved Dead Sea Scroll that was ever found in Cave 11. It was one of the latest to be found. And Yigael Yadin worked on the publications of the scroll. Today, all the 7 scrolls are in exhibition in the Shrine of the Book in the Israel Museum here in Jerusalem. So Yigael Yadin was close, of course, from his father and then from his research about the Temple Scroll to the story of the scrolls. And later on, the Hebrew University and the Institute of Archaeology conducted many surveys in the northern part of the Judean desert to look for more scrolls. Famous archaeologists from the Hebrew University, including Yigael Yadin, Binyamin Mazar, Nachman Avigad, conducted many surveys and excavations in the Judean desert during the 50s and the 60s. Myself, in 2017, I renewed the excavations and the survey along the Qumran cliff above the Dead Sea, and gladly, I uncovered a new scroll cave. Some people designated it as Cave 12, after the 11 caves that scrolls were found in them. I'm calling that Cave 53. It's the official name of the cave. Never mind. In general, I found inside for the first time after 70 years 7 scroll jars with leads and 15 fragments of textiles, 2 leather strips that used to wrap the textiles around the scrolls, but unfortunately, I didn't find any scroll inside.
How this excavation in Qumran 2017 was born? Why to come back to Qumran to excavate, since everybody theoretically knew that there's no more scrolls to find?
That's correct. In 1992, the Israel Antiquities Authority conducted a large survey along the cliff of Qumran just before the autonomy, according to the Oslo Agreement. And then most scholars thought that this is the end of the research and the surveys in the Qumran cliff. Suddenly, around 7-8 years ago, new fragments of scrolls has arrived to the black market, to the black antiquities market in Jerusalem and Bethlehem. And of course, there's only one place on earth where these fragments could have been found. And this is the cliffs of Qumran and the area of the Dead Sea. This is the reason that I've decided to return to the cliff and to look for new caves. Myself, I worked in Cave 53, which is a well-known cave. You can see it from Highway 90, the main road along the Dead Sea. And frankly speaking, I didn't think that I'll find something significant. It was just a warm-up, just to know how to excavate caves, etc. And since it was so clear and everybody could see the cave, we thought that the Bedouins conducted excavations over there, but probably they thought the same. So the cave was not looted in the past by the Bedouin. It was looted, but not by the Bedouin, much, much earlier. So we started the excavation. We planned to come for 2 weeks, and we stayed 5 weeks after we found these 7 scroll jars with leads, with fragments of textiles, with the leather stripes, and even a rolled cloth that we thought this is a part of a scroll. We took it to the scroll laboratory of the Israel Antiquities Authority in the Israel Museum. It took 3 days to open it and to discover that it's empty, that it's blank.
How was the reaction?
Well, the reaction was very, very exciting. To be the first one to find a rolled cloth after 70 years that comes from a scroll jars, this is unbelievable.
And you were disappointed by the other side that you don't have any written scrolls?
Well, of course I was disappointed, but I was very glad to be the first one to find the cloth. It's more than that. It's give us a proof that we need to continue the excavations and the surveys in Qumran, because we can never know. Perhaps there are new caves, there are other caves that were falling, that were collapsed. And attached to this cave that I was digging, we found a small rabbit hole for a new cave. We enlarged the excavation of the entrance, we came inside, we dug for a week, a big chamber, and found nothing. But during the days that we cleaned the cave in order to draw and to take photographs, one of the workers said, "Owen, I can't find the wall. We need to continue excavating." And while he was excavating more and more, he found wall from here, one from there, and an entrance, a corridor that led us to another chamber. And at the entrance to this chamber, we found a complete cooking pot made of bronze.
That is weird.
From the 2nd century BCE, together with 7 arrowheads and lots of pottery. So, from one hand, we didn't find any scrolls inside, but it gives us the proof that there are more caves to find, to look for, and perhaps even new scrolls.
And this pottery belonged to the community? Yeah?
The pottery that I found in K53 belongs to the community. Yes, that's correct, no doubt, because those are scroll jars with leads, with the textiles that covered and wrapped the scrolls, so there's no doubt about them. The second cave,
similar to the former,
similar from the late 2nd century BC and 1st century CE.
Okay, and you think you are going to find more?
We hope. In archaeology, you can never tell, but for sure we'll continue the research and the excavation and the surveys in hope to find more new scrolls.
Are there any concrete plans or projects to dig there?
Absolutely. We're going to be back with the help of the corona. We're going to go back in January 2021 in order to look for a new cave and maybe even to dig it.
I know maybe you were born in those times, but can you tell us how was the reaction of Sukenik and Yadin? Because you told about your own reaction, but can you tell us how did they feel?
Yeah. Well, I can tell you about my own reaction, thinking about them finding scrolls in 1947 and to buy them just the day before the declaration of the State of Israel in the United Nations. I think this is something that goes together. It's the culture of the Jewish people together with the State of Israel. You can't ask for more.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think that these scrolls are very, very interesting to all the people, to all the world? All of the world are looking to know. You know, when you receive here tourists all around the world, a necessary place to visit is the Shrine of the Book.
Yes, that's correct. Let's talk numbers. More than 15,000 fragments of scrolls are found in Qumran, belong to more than 832 different scrolls. Most of them are copying of the books of the Bible. For example, 26 copies of Genesis, Deuteronomy, and etc. There's only one book that is missing, and this is the book of Esther. Very, very interesting, the reason for that. More than that, there are unique scrolls like the War of the Son of Lights and the Son of Darkness, the Temple Scroll that I showed here in the book of Igael Yadin. And this is the early culture of the Jewish people, and it's authentic books. It's the only authentic copies of the book from the 3rd and the 2nd and 1st century BCE. You cannot have something more authentic from that. That's regarding the Bible. From the other hand, you have such a unique scrolls like the Temple Scroll that tells you stories that you wouldn't even think or imagine that are here if they wouldn't uncovered in Qumran. And there are some enigmatic scrolls like the Copper Scroll. The Copper Scroll was found in Cave 3 in Qumran in 1951, and it was inscribed on a 99% pure copper, a story of 60 places of where a huge amount of treasures were hidden. in the desert, probably the treasury of the temple in Jerusalem. So I think that
You have a lot of work to do. And finally, a last question that many people are interested to know. You know, it's very, let's say, sexy to find a lot of findings, archaeologists finding, but it's a lot of work, right? You sometimes are years and years of working, of digging. How is the work on an archaeologist?
Yes, that's correct. That's why we're digging in small seasons or short seasons, like 3 or 4 weeks a year, because the amount of finds that you have, pottery, coins, bones, jewelry, and etc., are demanding you to work another 11 months to document it, to clean them in a preservation laboratory, in a conservation laboratory, and to take photographs, and then to sit in the library and to find parallels and to write the reports. That takes a lot of time and a lot of money, by the way, and it's part of the excavation itself.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Oren, finally, what would you like to say to all of thousands of people that are watching to us now? Maybe you want to invite them to come here to this beautiful place.
Yes, well, I'm Dr. Oren Gutfeld, here an archaeologist at the Hebrew University of Jerusalem. I would like to invite you from this beautiful building of the Institute of Archaeology to participate the Dead Sea Scroll Week on behalf of the Moriah International Center and the Rothberg School of Foreign Students here of the Hebrew University. I welcome you, and I hope to see you. Me personally, I'm going to be with you in the Dead Sea Scroll Week.
Okay, thank you, Oren. Thank you very much.
Most welcome.
Espero que les haya gustado esta entrevista con el doctor Oren Gutfeld y hayan aprendido más sobre la historia de los rollos del Mar Muerto a ojos también de la Universidad de Hebrea, es decir, esa conexión entre la Universidad de Hebrea con los rollos, que fueron los profesores Sukenik y Yadin, su hijo justamente, padre e hijo, ¿no?, que están vinculados con la adquisición de los primeros 7 rollos. Y esto nació aquí en este mismo edificio, ya que Sukenik fue el que creó, de hecho, el Instituto de Arqueología. Y si les gustó o si tienen comentarios, opiniones, sugerencias, no dejen de escribir aquí en el área de comentarios y intercambiar con otras personas en el mundo entero que puedan también tener otras opiniones, otras ideas, porque el tema, sin lugar a dudas, llama la atención. Y si tienen familiares, amigos que les puede interesar este tema, no dejen de compartir con ellos también. Una de nuestras misiones como Moriah International Center es democratizar el conocimiento. ¿Qué significa eso? Llevar conocimiento a un bajo costo para el mundo entero. Cuando digo conocimiento, conocimiento de primera fuente, conocimiento que es producido por personas que investigaron mucho un tema o simplemente tocaron con sus propias manos, como hizo Oren al descubrir lo que llamamos la caverna número 12. Pero bien, hemos llegado entonces al fin de este segundo episodio, pero no se pierdan el próximo episodio, porque en el tercer episodio estaremos presentando para ustedes la Universidad Hebrea de Jerusalén, en un tour virtual por el campus del Monte Scopus, que tiene las más bellas vistas de Israel y algunos dicen tal vez del mundo entero. Pero no solamente vistas interesantes vamos a ver en este tour virtual, también historia de muchas personalidades que están conectadas con la universidad. Vamos a hablar de su historia, de su riqueza intelectual, así que no se lo pueden perder. Para mí, nuevamente, va a ser un honor recibirlos en el próximo episodio.